Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Let's just jump right into it with a pretty fascinating question. Is traditional dropshipping actually dead right now? I mean, if you've been following the e-commerce space at all, you know things are shifting faster than ever. So today we're breaking down the dropshipping product validation funnel. We're going to uncover exactly why dropshipping is definitely no longer the final destination, but rather the absolute ultimate low-risk testing ground to build a highly profitable brand. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room right off the bat. Is dropshipping dead as a permanent business model? Well, let's be real, the data is pretty brutal. A staggering 80 to 90% of dropshipping businesses completely fail in year one. Why? It's a mix of insane competition, incredibly thin margins, and a truly crippling reliance on paid ads. When your ad costs are squeezing your margins to zero and you have absolutely no control over shipping times, staying in that model long term is kind of like trying to run a marathon in quicksand. But here is where a massive paradigm shift happens. Actually, it's a total game changer. Dropshipping isn't actually a business model anymore. It's a validation tool. The top sellers, the ones building actual sustainable wealth, they don't use dropshipping as their end goal. No way. They use it strictly as a low-risk testing sandbox. They're just collecting real-world data before making their real move. And that brings us to our core concept today. The dropshipping product validation funnel is basically a strategic method of using low-cost dropshipping to test market demand before committing heavy capital to bulk Amazon FBA inventory. Think of dropshipping as this rickety temporary bridge, right? It gets you across the gap of uncertainty. But Amazon FBA, that is the scalable, highly profitable fortress you're building on the other side. Just look at the sheer contrast in financial risk here. A traditional Amazon FBA launch, that forces you into a $3,000 to $8,000 upfront risk on completely unproven stock. If the market rejects it, well, you're stuck with boxes of dead inventory collecting dust. But with a dropshipping test, you're risking just $500 upfront to completely validate demand with actual paying buyers. It is a brilliant built-in safety net. So the playbook to actually execute this is a super repeatable four-step system. Step 1. Drop ship 10 to 20 products. Step 2, track them for 30 to 60 days. Step 3, graduate those proven winners to Amazon FBA. And step 4, just keep testing new products in the background. Doing this completely eliminates the guesswork from e-commerce because you're literally just letting the customers' wallets tell you what works. All right, let's break down Phase 1, the $500 validation test. I really want to anchor our attention on this metric, $500. That is realistically the entire starting budget you need to get this whole engine running. That $500 covers your basic store setup, your professional seller account fees, some basic sourcing tools, and running your initial low-cost traffic, or maybe grabbing a few samples. You aren't buying a warehouse full of goods here, you are buying data. But, and this is crucial, there's a catch, you can't just test random trending junk. Because your ultimate destination is Amazon FBA, your products have to meet strict graduation criteria right out of the date. You're looking for a retail price sweet spot between $15 and $50. It absolutely must be small and lightweight, under 20 pounds, but honestly, the lighter the better, so those FBA fulfillment fees don't just crush you later on. You also need the potential for a 25% or higher net margin, and for sure, avoid electronics or fragile items so you can keep those return rates nice and low. So once you know your criteria, you're going to list 10 to 20 products simultaneously. And yeah, you can totally spread these across 2 or 3 different niches. You might be wondering, why so many? Well, because you want to give yourself maximum shots on goal during this testing phase. Remember, 90% of these products might be complete duds. But since you hold zero inventory, a dud literally costs you nothing. We are hunting for the absolute outliers here. Moving right along to Phase 2, tracking the winning metrics. Here's your timeline. On day 1, you launch your low-cost test listings. Fast forward to day 30, and you review your initial sales data to see what's actually getting some traction. By day 60, you identify your proven winners. You absolutely need this 30 to 60-day window to establish real statistical significance. Think about it. A product that gets 10 sales from one random viral TikTok video, that's a fluke. But a product that sells consistently for 60 days straight, that is a validated business asset. And what exactly defines a winner? Well, this is your absolute most important KPI, 3+. To be considered a validated winner that's ready for the big leagues, an item must consistently sell 3 or more units per week, every single week, and obviously with acceptable return rates. If it hits that benchmark, boom, it's proven.
Which brings us to the core philosophy of this entire strategy. The goal is never to stay. It's to de-risk your FBA investment. Once a product hits that 3+ units a week metric, you move on. Staying in dropshipping mode means you're accepting severely capped margins and dealing with unpredictable suppliers. You have the data now, so it's time to actually leverage it.
Okay, phase 3, the Amazon FBA graduation.
The logistics here are incredibly straightforward because, well, you already know the product sells. Step 1, you take that proven winner and you source it in bulk from a manufacturer, which instantly and drastically lowers your cost per unit. Step 2, you send that bulk inventory directly into Amazon's world-class fulfillment centers. And step 3, your product goes live with that coveted Prime badge. And why does that Prime badge matter so much? Because graduating to FBA grants you automatic access to over 200 million Prime members. These are people already searching the platform with their credit cards literally in hand. Plus, FBA sellers automatically qualify for the buy box. You are plugging your proven, validated product into the most powerful buyer search engine on the planet, offering the 2-day shipping that consumers absolutely demand today. Let's just put the economics side by side for a second. Dropshipping gives you a pretty meager 15 to 30% profit margin. But graduating to FBA, that pushes those margins to 30 to 50% or even more. Why? Because you're buying at wholesale prices, and Amazon is driving organic traffic for you. Your control goes from totally limited to full brand ownership, and your scalability shifts from being entirely dependent on how much you spend on ads to being very high as you rank organically. And finally, phase 4, scaling your proven winners.
By month 6, these two paths completely diverge. If you stay in dropshipping, your cumulative profit might hover around, say, $1,950. But the FBA product, fueled by those bulk order margins and the massive compounding effect of organic Amazon rankings, it aggressively outpaces it, hitting $3,900 or more in pure profit. The FBA model compounds over time. The dropshipping model just stays flat and linear.
And fast forward to month 12, the financial gap is just massive. The dropshipping model might totally cap out around $4,000 to $6,000, mostly because your ad costs are rising and your margins are already paper thin. But the FBA model, it's generating $12,000 to $20,000 in cumulative profit. This proves definitively why Amazon FBA is the ultimate destination for building a tangible, highly sellable business asset.
So how do the really successful heavy hitters run their businesses? They build what we call an infinite loop ecosystem. While their FBA products are printing higher margin revenue, they keep 10 to 20 dropship tests running quietly in the background at all times. They identify the next 30-day winners, graduate those new SKUs to FBA, and continuously expand their catalog. They are feeding a steady stream of pre-validated products into their Amazon fortress with virtually zero risk. It's brilliant.
I really want to leave you with this absolutely crucial takeaway derived directly from our sources today. Choose a business model based on how much money you want to make, not spend. So many beginners get totally trapped in dropshipping simply because it's cheap to start. But if you want to unlock serious wealth and build a truly scalable brand, you have to use that initial cheap capital strategically. Use it as a stepping stone to a much, much larger goal. Which leads me to this final question for you. Are you ready to stop guessing and start validating your way to a scalable Amazon empire? It is time to ditch that get-rich-quick mentality, stop relying purely on luck or one-off viral videos, and implement this data-driven validation funnel today. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.